All right, welcome back. While we send Greg over here off with the Fent to seed our fields, we're going to head over to those community plots and get them plowed up and connect them a little bit here. So we'll have to get our trusted Belcher out again. Now this is when you create fields or you're plowing fields that you don't own or aren't technically fields. Because I showed you that they were plowed on the map here. Let me just hit a save here real quick. Right? I said they were plowed or they're cultivated, but they're not listed. I don't think you can just go and plant stuff on there with hired help or anything like that. Besides, we want them to kind of be together anyway. So we're going to use the plow here to make a field or make one big field out of the little ones. Now we'll use our working lights here. It's actually not too bad to make fields at nighttime. We're going to start by connecting the separate ones here. So what I'll need to do is, this left trigger button is driving. I want to just check. I don't think that the hired help will actually allow this up. Oh, he will. Okay, so it is listed as a field. That's interesting. Okay, so these are just little fields we can use. But we're going to turn it into a great big field. Not all of it. I'm not going to go into that deep corner over here. That's crazy. And I'm not going to undo this. That's crazy too. This field is just too much. So what we're going to do is connect all of these fields together. Now it's really, really difficult to keep a straight line because the way the steering mechanic works is you drift the entire way. You're always just drifting. Now, I know I'm not supposed to back up. This wreck will plow that way. I'm just squaring up. Now when we get to an edge, see if I go across this grass, it doesn't do anything, right? No. Stop. It's that left bumper button. Does not. The game does not like it on this controller. I literally have to white knuckle it to make it work. What we can do is when you want to make a field, you can just allow create fields, right? And now when I drive across, it'll plow that up. Now I don't have to do it. Take it off. Always take it off before you leave your location because it's just going to end up with a big mess. You're going to end up plowing something that you didn't want plowed. You'll have to go get the roller and fix it all up. So as soon as you get, before you even lift your plow out of the ground, just hit within the field boundaries. So I'm going to go down and see if we're lined up fairly well here. We're not quite square. Good, and then pushing this button on this. Go right across. Take away the field thingy. Now just do the exact same thing over here. Looks like we were a little bit short on that one back there. It's actually harder to see it going this way. Now you can see it go the other way. Just because of the way the shadows are working. Oh yeah. Well, it's not going to be much. Okay. Allow create fields. Just drive straight across. Change it. Pick it up. Go to the next one. I just get the edges done. That way, I can just run the plow right down the middle. Because any part that's not plowed, hired help won't do anything with it. So that looks pretty close. Lower down, allow reveal, drive across, and boom, lift it up. Now what we can do is just drop the plow down, take out this little grass strip. It's tedious work, but that's just because it's incredibly difficult to maintain a straight line. There's a dead zone in the steering as well with the joysticks, and there's no way to take that out. And then again, it drifts. So if you steer, 2 degrees to the left, your vehicle will always, no matter what, even when you get it straightened out, will always go to the left because the game mechanic is just not done very well. And I forgot we planted trees along this row. I'm glad I just saw that. I gotta be careful. We might not do anything in the big grass section because I don't want to plow up all those trees. Alright, drop the plow. Allow clear fields. Drive straight. Or straight-ish. See, it's drifting off to the right. You can see it just drifting. Just watch the video. You can see that the right beacon is going at a, like a 2 degree or 3 degree angle to the right. So, yeah, I just drove over those trees earlier today with the mower. Because there's still no collision on it yet. And there's some trees there, along there. I forgot we planted them. They will not show up as planted on the map. So, alright, excellent. Pull this one over here. Do the same thing with these fields to get started with. We just connect all of these little sections. And then let the hired help plow the rest of it. But for now, we need to get this guy started up and take over the other field. So I am laying down oilseed radish, which is a fertilizer, a natural fertilizer, I guess. Now, I was doing the research on the potatoes. I decided that the way we do potatoes is with regular granulates and then liquid fertilizer as a fungicide in the late growth stage to prevent. There's not like, if I understood it correctly, you cannot prevent this fungus, but you can limit its, its kind of its hold on anything, so it would be less likely that the potatoes get the fungus or something. Oh gosh, this stupid switch. Unhold plow. This button is really irritating. Okay, so the same thing. Lower. Allow the field to be created. Drive across. Raise. Looks like that's close. Not quite there. Need to go over to the right just a smidge. Probably just another furrow. That's what those ridges are called, furrows. Good. I'll link it up. Add the next one. probably only get trees over here anyway, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And I don't actually have to do this for the trees, but I do want the hired help to be able to plant them. And in order to do that, I'll want one big field connected. Break the rules a little bit. Okay, excellent. Now I can just run along and do these center strips and not have to worry about a border. And I've got plenty of space. 6 meters to plant there to place this plow down. I don't even have to worry about going straight because I'm in 2 fields at the same time. Just pull it right down like so. Lift. I know you're thinking, well, geez, you're going to grow a bunch of trees over here and all this racket where this residential area is. Well, that's true. We struck a deal with the local leaders in the community saying that we won't cut down trees at nighttime or anything like that. We'll only do it during the day when they're at work. And we won't cut down trees in the direction of their homes. This is a readily available plot that's not being used, and if we can make the trees, it's for their benefit, and to be able to use the timber to improve their homes. I guess that sounds like extortion, doesn't it? Just a little bit. Politics. That's what politics is anyways. Just nothing but extortion. He's done, or we're almost done. And then actually, so hired help won't create fields. So if I see how the create fields gets turned off. Now it would have been really handy if they were allowed to create fields. If you just could mark out a border a little bit. But the game does, and I understand why. I mean, that's crazy because they could just carve up an entire map because there's no way to know when to stop. They'd have no idea when they're supposed to stop. They just keep plowing and keep plowing. There's no way to make a marker unless you could. If you could make a marker a little bit, and maybe I don't know if you can do an FS19 or not. I've played that game enough. Maybe 10 minutes. I have a real hard time liking, or I have a hard time with the graphics engine that they've got on it. I know it's not terrible, but I don't know, I'm just so used to this one. Isn't that the way it goes though, right? You get used to something and then you don't like to change it. We don't like change. Alright, so we'll get this fence over here. Drop this off. Actually, that's not true. We're going to take it this way. Now, I don't know if poppers actually benefit from the 3 fertilizer stage like other crops do. So right now, if you take a look, we're only on fertilizer stage number 2 for the poplars. So I don't know. I guess one way to find out is just to do it and then on the next batch, do the same batch in the exact same field and fertilize it a third an additional time. Because what happens is with this direct drill, I'm using a granulated fertilizer and the oilseed radish, so that's 2 layers of fertilization when you cultivate in the oilseed radish. And that's all I did on the poplar. So I guess the one way to figure it out is just to make sure that we have no wood chips in storage, harvest them, and then replant them and add a third layer of fertilizer. If we get more the second time around, then you know that it actually works. I know it doesn't make any difference for the trees, but that's because you don't have to plant trees on a field. It's not required. As you can tell, you can just plant them anywhere. Right? Take the log, turn it out over here. Turn a little bit early. Thinking poplars, and I made the turn for poplars. We're gonna set this field up. The other one we'll probably just plant. I won't do anything on the other one. Just plant the trees. There's no reason to do anything. I mean, you can plant grass to make it all nice, but just something else to do, and he is done already with this field. Is he done? Oh yeah. Well, no, he's got all of this to do yet. So he just did the one. Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. He only did the one field. He did not do where I connected them. That is interesting. I thought he plowed the entire length of the last one. Maybe not. I mean, he did this a spot over. So now if we look, it'll show that they're getting plowed. See, they needed plowed before, that's why they're in red. Now it's showing that they've been plowed. So even though it was cultivated in the previous, we wouldn't get, a full yield if we planted an actual crop on it, because it was not plowed. Okay, he's taking too long. I'm just gonna do this. We can make a full run here, all the way across. The way they line themselves up, sometimes it's like watching paint dry sometimes, and it's only worse when they get in one of the beet harvesters. Oh my gosh, articulate beet harvester. The AI is just not quite all together with the beet harvester. It takes them ages to get that thing turned around and lined up. Like, make a loop. But wiggling it back and forth. Back it up like you do a normal harvester for crying out loud. not being very efficient with this plow, plowing over the same strips of soil over and over again. But I'd rather do it this way than to have to go back and keep repeating it because I missed a section. Unfortunately, that's what happens when the steering mechanic isn't very good, and I don't think it's gotten any better for FS19 either. Now, if you could just point yourself in a direction and hit the gas and go and not drift, this would be a lot easier. In fact, it's so complicated and so unpolished, I guess is the right word for it, that the PC players had a mod, the GPS mod, which would actually make your vehicle go straight. So it uses the game's AI mechanic to keep the vehicle straight. But you can't do that. So it's now, since those trees are outside of the field, this won't plow it up, just like it's not plowing up the grass out there. Get this one last little strip here, like so. All right, and that's gonna do it for the video. I'm gonna do the same thing over on that other plot over there, and I'm going to get the Fendt started on planting the oilseed radish in this field so we can use it probably for wood chips. I'm pretty sure that's what we'll use it for. And what I'm going to do is start him on this edge here. Actually, we're going to use this. We're going to make one pass along this edge now. And the reason for it is because when he gets to this soccer net right there, it's going to get blocked. He's going to be goofing around, it's going to get stuck, and the whole thing's just going to be a big giant nightmare. So if we did a nice good pass on this edge right here, then it's got some headlands to turn around on. And let's just go like this. Alright, just want to say thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.